Well, on to work. Maybe get a half a day out today and get my admin and my paperwork done. Hope the Steelers, I hope they televise the Steelers on Sunday and I can watch them. Sort of chill out and decompress. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. Just started doing this. I don't know what, this is my third, maybe fourth video. Just something to do, see how it goes. I see there haven't been too many views yet, so, it is what it is. But, I'm 62 years old, and things go on around you. And how it used to be when I was coming up, old people instructed the young on what to do, what was going on, so you don't buy into a lot of BS. And you were advised, old men, old women, advised, Well, it seems that stopped because the breakup of the family and everything else. So there isn't a lot of that going on. And that's happened a few generations. So now you have people in their 30s and 40s who don't know what the heck about life, and they're advising or trying to on some of these channels. People are even younger. You got kids coming up, don't know one thing, don't know their butt from page 8. Turn this off. So, it's up to us older people to sort of try to explain what's going on and what you need to do. There's a void of that. And that's what I'm trying to have these videos. Things happen, people say things. So I interject. This old man's got something to say. I didn't know other people had the same title on their videos. I found that out yesterday. So if you're watching, particularly, if you're watching and you like what you see, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll keep putting these out. Spread them around to friends if you think it's helpful to you, some of these things. I put one out about gun control. Nobody gonna listen to that stuff anyway because they're prejudiced. I already got people I've been talking to for a long time, and they got preconceived ideas that aren't realistic. Eventually, they're gonna get around to taking our guns away anyway. It's gonna happen eventually, unfortunately. But close this up. But that's just the nature of the beast, as it is, and it is the beast. Today, I want to talk about something. I was on a trip because I have my business. I travel. So I was up in a hotel and nothing to do, listening to some videos. And I listened to this Mgtow stuff. Understand, I didn't even know Mgtow was a thing until maybe a couple, 3 years ago. Stumbled upon it. Some guy, TFM, Turd Flinging Monkey. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. So I listened to him. And it made, like any man, the problems with women and with feminists, we all have that. So feminism being what it is, and it was like a frank discussion from men about those sort of situations. Okay, fine. But a lot of these Mgtow white guys also are alt-right. Goes up to some of the people in Canada, the men's right. All these people are alt-right. And what does that got to do with feminism? I don't know, they marry the two issues together since feminists tend to be left-wing, and I guess they marry that together. But anyone who's alt-right is wrong anyway. You're wrong. And I'm going to explain a little bit more how women see it, that you're wrong. Women like strength in a man. They hate each other because they know there's weakness. Women know there's weakness in females. And that's one of the reasons women hate each other. And they do. You get any woman, even the lesbians, sometimes they're just antagonistic toward one another. And what it is, underneath it all, they know that they can't trust them. They know a woman's weak and she'll bend in any direction and backstab them. And, they're like noodles. They don't have any stiffness in them. They'll just bend any way the wind blows or whatever suits them. And women get angry about that. All right. So basically it was that. I started listening to some of these channels. Then some of the dudes seem they got their act together in terms of a business standpoint. Oh man, and I'm really proud. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for anybody successful doing anything that they want to do. I'm that kind of guy. So I'm seeing this. I'm going, well, fine. You go. Your guys got your setup, and you're talking. After a while, though, there's advising men and people, and some of their ideas are just bogus. I mean, bogus. So I go, hey, wait a minute. And it's got to a point where this got overwhelming. One of them started ridiculing some old woman. I guess she was in her 80s, 70s, 80s. And she's on Tinder and she's dating. And he just started, and they're ridiculing. And he wouldn't date her. And she's ugly because she's not going to be, she's going to look 80. You know, but the bottom line is, if you're not doing any harm to anybody, right? You're not doing any harm. You're not hurting anybody. What do you care? Right? What do you care? So it comes out to what I'm listening to, I discover these aren't alpha males. They're talking about being alpha males and assuming. I mean, there's alpha male strategies. Here's the video. I think he's an alpha male. There's LFA. It's a white guy. Seems to be squared away. All these are younger than me. So hearing young guys that know what they're talking about, okay, great. Coming from an old man, you say, all right, you got your act together. What comes out of your mouth makes sense, fine. But when you're talking foolishness, stupidity, and you're weak and blue pill, or that's what you want to call it, you know, we used to call them punks. You're just a punk. You know, then that's what that is. They're talking about this woman, and she ain't harming anybody, and the dude she's with, that's her business. She ain't doing no harm. Isn't like someone's married and going behind someone's back and cheating on them, and you're calling them out for it. She's single, and she's just doing this. That's her business. Her business. So essentially, listening to this, I just had to stop it, because I felt like when you go to the head and you're sitting down in the stall, you look up on the walls and stuff, and you see all this writing up that these infantile boys write all over the stall. Oh, Karen, you know, she gives head. I did Karen. Here's her phone number. And just spreading all this, you know, calling women out and embarrassing them. And that's why women close up and don't want to express themselves, because of boys. You're not men. You're not alphas. So there's your listener making fun of this woman. Got nothing to do with you. She ain't hurting anybody. She's not hurting men. You know, and good for her if she's 70 or 80 and she still wants to have sex. And good for her, she's not trying to trick anybody into marriage or take their money away, or you know, or any of those things. She's just living her life, enjoying life. And if guys want to, you know, for whatever their reasons, they want to give her a shot. Sometimes, like when I was starting out in the 70s. You know, it's a different time in the 70s, right? Different time. Women, prior, you know, when I first started coming into manhood, coming into adulthood, you know, preteen and teen, and then into my early 20s, women didn't even watch porn. There's a lot of things women didn't do because they were all like trying to be goody two-shoes. So very few women, you could go on a date, and it would take 2 or 3 dates. It would take I think almost a month of dates before you get a lot of time to get in their pants. And almost nobody was getting, you know, on the first date. That was prior to my time coming in, which gradually changing. But all that cocaine, all those quaaludes, women started watching porn. They started seeing women like Linda Lovelace, Chessie Moore, you know, Marilyn Chambers. These are the women of the day. Women are very, and women are like us. See, it doesn't matter. You guys don't want to give women their credit, like they're some kind of machine or a blow-up doll, like they don't have emotions and spirit and feelings. Well, they want to see what the world's about. They're curious, and they want to get their oats sown before they settle down with one dude. They want to experience some things, just like we do, just like I did. All right. So during those times, you know, women were really the pushers. If you were square and you didn't want to do certain things, you didn't want to do it in front of anybody or anything like that, because we go to the car, the drive-in. They had a drive-in that showed porn, believe it or not. And you go there, you get some beers, and you take the chick to it. And chicks were down with that. In those days, too, sex on the first date was the norm. Nobody was trying to settle down for the most part. Now, if you did, you sort of stumbled into it. So you were dating, they were dating, rotating. And maybe you met someone and things just clicked. You know, and those people are married today. Some of them have passed on, but they were getting married. They had kids, they had grandkids, they got married. So this idea that the women, you know, they've had a lot of different experiences and now they're ruined for life, that's completely bogus. You know, that's a blue pill, weak male position. Because one of the guys is talking about how, oh, big deal about how women are on the carousel, they call it. I'm an alpha male. You never hear any man really give a crap about how many men a woman has been with. We all feel that in ourselves that we're strong and we're the better dude, and like you had the rest, but now you got the best. And I could be in bed, but I could be the whole package. You know, I'm fun to be with. You know, you're protected with me. You don't have to worry. I'm a better choice of man for you to be walking and holding hands with. You know, and ultimately having sex with. I'm the guy that you want to be with because I'm alpha. Okay, you don't want to do that? All right then. So, okay, Grandma. So I hear all this nonsense about, you know, whining about how many men, and they're contradicting themselves. What they're saying with a woman, you know, they're young, they're coming up in college, and they're playing the carousel because they're sowing their oats. They want to get some experiences under their belt before they settle down. And they have careers they think they want, or usually they go to college to supposed to be getting a career, but actually to find a husband while they're in college. That's the real reason that they're there. But, and the party, because you have, you know, all these men on the campus, so they're doing that. Alpha males don't care. We go into a bar or something, you see a chick that you like. You're not thinking about what other dudes are doing or anything. You're not thinking about dudes at all. You're alpha. I never thought about other dudes. I could care less. You know, if I liked it, I liked it. Now I might tap it and drop it, or see if things roll along and see a relationship come out of it. Now, as far as experience, you know, yeah, the more experience you got, made her better. Last thing you want is to have some woman that hasn't done anything and doesn't want to do it. You know how awkward that is, trying to get a woman to do something she doesn't want to do. It's like trying to herd a cat. You know, or she's doing it just because you want her to. She wants to please you, but she doesn't like it. She's going to her girlfriend. I did it, but I really don't like doing it. How do you feel good about that yourself? I wouldn't. It's almost like rape to me. You know, you want a woman doing stuff that she wants to do. She enjoys doing it. And if she enjoys doing it, believe me, she did it before she met you. A lot. You don't have to beg somebody to do something they like to do. Trust me on that. So you dudes that sit around and then you get into relationships or you're married and then you're complaining and crying that there's no sex or the sex is boring. You ask for that. You ask for that. You know, you got what you deserve. You went to the car lot and you bought, you know, a Prius. Now you want it to be a Ferrari. Well, it's not a Ferrari, it's a Prius. And that's what you bought. Right? And if you're intimidated, and women don't like weakness anyway, out of a man particularly, and they can sense, and women are starting more and more, and always have been, more sexual earlier, because that's the way it is. So she's already got some experiences under her belt, and she's not square and fitty-ditty about any of this. You know, yeah, she'd like to, you know, give you a head while you're driving down the road, but she's afraid, she knows now that you're not, you know, you don't have a strong sense of manhood, and you might just freak out. Because you want a nun. Oh, what? Oh. She now has to be on guard. And if I relax and let my hair down, God forbid I have a few drinks, maybe I puff a joint, and I get relaxed, and I get on, like giving you head, or I start doing something too natural for me, for you, and you start looking at me sideways, thinking, well, how long have you been doing? What are you, a whore or a slut? You know. She doesn't want that, so she's going to be on guard, showing you her best side. But guess what? Over time, that develops resentment, because no one likes not being accepted for who you are. And sex is the most intimate. And it can be sex just not intimate, but when it's intimate sex in a relationship, that means something. You know? And when you're a dude and you let a woman, you treat her like a real human being and realize she has fantasies and things too. And you let her put her hair down without feeling that she's going to be mocked and made fun of. Because she does. And she feels secure in that. You're going to get her best sex. And you're going to always be able to come back to her. She could be no matter what happened, years down the road. Most of the girlfriends I had, I could always bump into them and I could have sex right there on the spot if I wanted to. I let them be themselves. I let them let their hair down. You know, plus, you know, I'm a little freaky anyway, so, you know, out in the open, maybe doing it in a park, maybe on a golf course at night, in the sand trap, on the swings in the park, you know, things like that. Women like it a little naughty. And they like you to lead them there and let them feel that they can do that without you making fun of them and calling them a whore or slut later on. Now, alpha males will communicate sometimes to other males. You know, if it's a chick that maybe you're not, you know, talking about in terms of a relationship, more or less, and you had a good time with her, you can go to one of your buddies and go, hey, dude, you know, I was out with this chick and she's hot. You know, she's really hot. The experience is hot. She may not even look that hot, but she's hot. And I'll give you her number, and maybe you guys can hook up and you can have a good time, because I had a good time with her. See, we'll talk it that way, not in a mocking, making fun of way, just actually a compliment. You know, she's fun to be with. She had a nice personality. We had some drinks or whatever, and we did the business. And man, you know, she gives great head, or you know, she likes this, she likes that. And you're going to tell your boy that so he can maybe, you know, hook up with her. That's reality. But you have these boys, these soy boys, and as soon as they realize the woman's got more experience than them, they're so insecure and they're so weak, and suddenly they start mocking her and making, you know, or they're mad, you know, they're going to mock her for dating them or having sex with them on the first date. Understanding that they participated as well. They're okay. But she is the bad one because she had sex with him on the first date, which is some kind of self-hate, I think, because I would think, and the women I've dated on a first date, if you couldn't see the discomfort in them because they're fighting their urge. They want you to make a pass at them so they can say yeah, but they don't want to because they don't want to come off as a slut. You can see that, you can sense it. You're paying attention to them, you're talking to them, you're looking in their eyes. You can see them thinking their head, the wheels are rolling while they're in your car as you're driving, maybe back to the house when the date's over, and they're thinking right there, if he makes a move on me, I'm there. Or I hope he makes the move on me. And they're sure, you know, what do I do? I'm not supposed to give in, but, you know, that's what you want. You want a woman who's Niagara Falls over you. She can't wait to do the deed. Even if she can hold out, she can't wait for the first 2 or 3 dates so she can finally give in to you and have the experience, because she's waiting for it. She's going to go home and get that, you know, hairbrush out or wherever, or any kind of toy she's got, and she's going to, you know, do that. She's going to tell her friends that this guy is hot. I couldn't wait. But that's what you're supposed to want. And you're talking about, well, you know, the first date, second date. Let me tell you, there's a lot of divorced men whose wife cheated on them, and the wife didn't lay with them until the first or second date. Some of these women cheated on them with the guy as soon as she met him. Some of these women made that guy wait, cheated on you in a couple of dates before she actually laid down on her back. You know, doing that doesn't mean, or waiting doesn't mean that she's, you know, this queen. As far as harlots are concerned, you know, they keep saying, like Sharp, these guys saying, well, a woman's broken, you can't fix her. Biblically, the Bible, you figure, is the testament about purity. Solomon, wise man, alpha male, describes in the Bible a good woman. And if you look into the matter, she was a harlot before she settled down with Samson. So it's like a woman can't, you know, she's out there and she's playing the field, so to speak. Isn't like she now is ruined fruit and you can't eat of it. That's not true. If you're an alpha male and she makes that decision that it's time, I had my fun, and it's time to have a good time, or now it's time rather to settle down. I want to have kids and settle, and this is the man for me. So I've done all that rest, that stuff. I put that aside. That was then, this is now, and now I'm going to settle down and have some kids. and with this man, and we're gonna be together. That same woman that might have banged everybody in town, just got drunk and everything else, will turn it around, and she'll be as square as far as the other. But you will have a good time with her. You know, it's like, I don't do this, I don't like that. You won't be sitting there talking about I've been in a relationship and I haven't had sex. She wants it 2 and 3 times a day sometimes. You know, and I've had women like that. But if you're man enough, you're an alpha, and she decides this is a good deal, and I don't have what's the chance of me locking down a dude with this quality, and he's willing to give me a chance, he's willing to give me a shot, more than just in the back seat? Well, I'm not going to blow this. I'm going to be a good girl with him. So it's up to the woman, and it's up to how you carry yourself as to whether or not. Now, sometimes that doesn't mean anything, but again, it's up to the woman. At the end of the day, it's up to her. She makes the choice. To screw you, she makes the choice as to whether or not it's going to continue. So I'll probably have more to say on this. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't do this, and I'll finish this theme.